Hi everyone, welcome to MarikaCreations. Today I will share with you 3 DIYs and they are all made out of wood. I have found a few pieces in my garage, a wooden box and some wooden plate holders, and I have flipped them by adding some scrap pieces of wood that I had in my stash already. So stay tuned for this. For my first DIY, I have this wooden box, quite thin, that I decided to make a drawer of. So I have to make a front, and I have this old shelf in my stash, and I would just cut out a piece large enough for this front of the drawer. So I just measure it, and I will have it a little larger than the actual box. So I am just measuring away here so I get everything nice and straight and the size that I want. Once I'm happy with my measurements, I will just go to my miter saw and cut out this piece. And here it is. Looking nice, I think. It will go flush on the bottom, so it will sit straight on the surface. Then I have a vintage looking handle and this metal label holder. But first I want to make this front even nicer, and my husband is helping me here with this tool to just get a rounded edge all the way around the front. Time to sand the piece. Start off with the electric sander, and then I go in with just a sandpaper and do the edges properly. This video is part of the What Would You Make challenge hosted by OK at Home DIY and Connie's Creative Creations, and the guest host this time is DIY from House to Home. I have links to their channels in my description, along with a link to the playlist of this challenge for more inspiration. I will stain the front in this natural oak stain. That is my go-to stain. Love it so much. And I do all sides, all edges, and then I wipe off the excess with just a tissue paper. The box itself I will whitewash. So I have this white acrylic paint that I just put some extra water in so it's easier to apply, and I just paint it on and wipe off the excess. The inside I will leave as is. Now it's time to put on the handle and this metal label holder, and I have bought them from Amazon. I will leave links down in my description if you are interested. So I just used the tiny screws that came with this hardware. Make a pilot hole and then screw it in place. Just measure so I center it properly on the drawer front. Last step on this DIY is to attach the drawer front to the box, and I do that from the inside with screws that are small enough not to pierce through to the front. So pilot hole and then screw in the screws, and I used 4 of them. I will also put some pads on the bottom of my drawer. Here it is, and I have just put in a piece of paper that I've written "Enjoy" on, and you can decorate it as you please. And I have put in some nice books in here and some greenery and a piece of lace. Tell me what you think. I think it's very pretty and you can decorate it for all seasons. For my second DIY, I found these plate holders, wooden plate holders in my stash. I have 2 of them. Don't use them, so I decided to do something else with them. And they look like feet, don't they? So I will make a riser, and I just need a top, and I have the same wood board, the shelf that I used for my first project, and I will put it like that and just cut it to size and make it nice. So to my miter saw, and here it is already cut. So first thing here, I'm taking some wood glue and just make sure that that dowel is secure. Just hammer it in with a rubber hammer, then make sure that it stands straight, hammer a bit more and let it dry for a bit, and then I went over it with 2 coats of this black satin color. If you're new to my channel, hi, I am Marika, and on this channel I do lots of DIYs, thrift flips, trash to treasure, renovation of my home, some pottery, some painting, anything creative really. Please join me, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell and join my YouTube family. I'm sanding off the wood board with my electric sander, and then I will make sure that the edges are not sharp, and I go in with just the sandpaper to do the tiny bits like that. And once I'm happy with the results, I just dust it off, and then it's time to stain it in the same natural oak stain that I used for my first project. Just cover the whole piece and wipe off the excess just with a piece of tissue and set it aside to dry. Then it's time to put on the feet. Just measure to have them centered, mark where they are situated, and then drill pilot holes. Since I have to attach the legs from the top of the wood board, the screw heads will be visible, so therefore I have chosen some industrial chunky screws that you can see here. And that's it for this riser, this little stool. And this is how it turned out. Pretty, I think. Love the wood, and together with the black, the industrial feel of it. And I have put it here in my breakfast bar, just with some pieces on top. For my third and final DIY, I have this scrap piece of wood that has rounded edges, and that for me makes it look like a book. But in order for it to look really like a book, I need to cut off that edge there so it's nice and straight like that, and it looks like a book, doesn't it? With some imagination it does. So now I have to cut grooves on the sides there to mimic book pages. And I will do that with this little tool. It's like a mini electric saw. I would just gently take it along the side there to create one groove after another. Of course you can do it by hand as well, it's just a little bit more time consuming. and it will look something like that. And I will do that on the short sides as well. Same procedure. Now on to sanding. Lots of sanding when you do woodwork. So electric sander, and then soften the edges with my sandpaper. Now the base is done. Now it's time to embellish my book. And we start off with the title. Looking good already, I think. So I have these letter stickers that I will use. I have cut out the ones I'm going to use, just 3 letters. I am is the name of my book. I love affirmations, and this book will be about affirmations. So I just put on my stickers like that. My intention is to paint, or rather stain, this book, and the stickers will be there to keep the wood color where the letters are. On the spine of the book, I will also have the title of the book, I Am, just with smaller stickers. Then I will tape off bits and pieces of the book, just cut some organic shapes and put them on where I want them, like that. Then it's time to start staining. I have just some acrylic paint that I have put a little bit of water in. I don't want it too liquid because I don't want it to bleed underneath my stickers. So I just paint it on and rub off the excess immediately. Then I put in some lighter shades in my green to have a little bit difference in nuances, like that. I was not happy at this point, so I decided to go for a little bit of white across. I want it to look like nature, organic. I do the same on the back of the book, some more green. The book pages, I will stain them in a dark grey color. Just make sure to put in as much as possible in the grooves and then wipe off the excess so I get more a feeling of depth. Time to take off my masking tape, and it looks good actually, and no bleed through as far as I can see. Perfect, and the letters as well. Looks good, but the letters, they don't pop at all, so I need to do something with that. So I decided to fill in the letters on the spine there with some dark grey color, and the bigger letters, of course you can see them, but I wanted to just put on a shadow. I still thought the book looked a bit pale, a little bit washed out. So I decided to paint the wood colored areas with the gray color. Just use it as a stain as well. Just wipe off the excess. So, what else can you do with a book? I have a few things in mind. I have this old handbag that I have used for my projects, and this piece that sort of sits on your shoulder to protect it from heavy bags. I will use that one, and you will see how. I will just put it right there as a lock for my book. I didn't like the brown color, so I just took some shoe shine, some black tainted shoe shine, and put it on and set it aside to dry for a little bit. And the book is dry, and I decided to go over it with my natural oak stain to give it a little bit more of a shine. So I put it on all over the book and just wiped off the excess. I have these 3 ceramic birds that I will use. I will just put on a coat of white acrylic. I found some thin leather shoestrings in my stash, so I decided to do something with them. So I have 2 tied a knot, and I have covered them with some glue, and now I'm twisting them really tight and tie a knot at the other end and clamp them to the table while they're drying to keep them from unraveling. And I had some more of this shoestring, and I decided to make a tassel, just a simple tassel. I will use the twisted string and the tassel to make a bookmark for my book. Now I am drilling holes where the book pages are. This is on the upper part, and I'm drilling 2 holes here to fit that twisted shoestring. And on the other side I will have just 1 hole, and you will see how it fits in a moment. So my shoestring has dried, and I've just put a little bit of hot glue in that hole, cut off a tiny piece and put it in the second hole. And on the other side there I will put the rest. It's a little bit too long, but I will attach the tassel and see how long I need it and cut off the excess. Just reinforce the knots with some hot glue. Time to attach the leather strap from my handbag, and I do that with the chunky nails, 2 on the front, and just fold it on the back side and make pilot holes and attach it with same kind of nails here, 2 of them. And then in that hole I will mark with a staple, because I will put in a staple here. I'll just mark where the holes should go, drill pilot holes, and before I put the staple in place I will put a key, attach it to the staple, and then just hammering away until it's well in place like that. I'm painting the nail heads and the staple with a dark grey color. I have dry brushed my birds on the edges just with the black acrylic, and now I am attaching them with some ordinary glue and some hot glue. If you like this video and videos like this, hit that like button and the subscribe button, of course, for more inspirational videos. My aim is to upload 1 or 2 videos per week. Et voila, here it is, my wooden book sitting on my mantle together with 2 other books I made last year. Tell me what you think of my creations today. Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. I love how it turned out, looking nice. Doesn't it look like a book? I sure think so. I put some pads on the bottom there for it not to scratch the surface it sits on. Now it's time to head on over to my description box and hit that link to the playlist of this challenge for more inspiration how to work with wood and to incorporate that in your decor. Thank you so very much for watching. See you soon again in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.